Often, whenever we hear the term procrastination or we think that we are procrastinating, we very often tend to feel bad because we associate that procrastination with laziness. We think that procrastination is laziness. I am lazy, that's why I am procrastinating, or I don't care about the work, that is why I am procrastinating. But the reality is procrastination has many faces, and one of those many faces is perfectionism. Perfectionism driven procrastination. Whenever someone tells us that we are procrastinating, we feel bad because it's obvious we feel bad. It's obvious to feel bad whenever we are addressed of something that we are trying to avoid. And I used to feel the same thing until I realized that my procrastination wasn't from laziness or carelessness. It was from perfectionism. It was from wanting the perfect performance. It was from wanting to put in the perfect performance and from wanting to get the perfect results. So in this video we discover what is this type of procrastination, why does it happen, and how to get rid of this procrastination, and a very special story at the end that really helps me a lot whenever I am procrastinating or thinking that half of my work is going to waste. So the first part is, what is this type of procrastination? Think about it like this. Maybe you have some work, probably to write an essay or to make a video. So now you need to write an essay or to make a video. So now you want to do it. You are eager to do it. You like to do the work. You want to do it, but yet you avoid it. Only because you are afraid that the results are not going to be up to the mark or the performance is not going to be up to the mark. Our mind created the perfect performance that we will put in and the perfect results that we will extract. And thus, then we are disappointed because as humans we know that there will be errors and there will be redos. That is the very essence of being a human. And that is why we feed our mind the fact that I'll do it tomorrow when I'm more ready. When the tomorrow comes, we realize that we aren't ready, even in the tomorrow. So we are never really ready. You just have to do it. And I know this might feel irritating because whenever someone would tell me previously, just do it, it's easy, just do it, I would have been so mad. I was like, I want to do it. I know I like to do it, but I still can't do it. And people would be like, just do it. Until I addressed the fact that why I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it because it was not procrastination, it was perfectionism. It was because I wanted the perfect results, but it was almost impossible to extract perfect results or give the perfect performance. And you need to accept that. Until you don't accept this, you can never just do it. It might look like it's the fear of the process of the task, whereas it's the fear of the task itself. Only because we expect to not get the results that we are thinking that the mind has created. And the second part is, why does this happen? You see, the human mind is constantly creating ideas. Thus, whenever you decide to do something, the mind already creates the perfect performance it wants you to put in and the perfect result it needs. And obviously the brain doesn't like the pain created from knowing the difference between the perfect imagination and between the real one. But the truth is, the gap will always exist. Even if you want it to exist, it will. Even if you don't want it to exist, it still will. The gap will always be there. Now the third part is how to stop perfectionism driven procrastination. Breaking out of perfectionism driven procrastination is not about lowering your standards of imagination or lowering your standards of the perfect outcome or your results. It's about shifting your focus. It's not about lowering your standards but about shifting your focus from your performance to your presence. So there are 4 points on how to do it. The very first one is set small deadlines. If you are waiting for the perfect mood, that perfect mood or the perfect timing, or when you're perfectly ready, that is never going to come. So create non-negotiable tasks, as if I'll complete this video by tomorrow. I'll complete this by tomorrow. Or maybe I said that I'll take small steps at a time. At least I'll shoot 2 minutes today. Number 2 is focus focus on the process or presence. Shift your focus from the performance, from what am I doing, what is happening, to my presence, that I am at least I'm doing, I am present. Focus it into that. See, this varies for people. There are some people who give it a lot. Some people who procrastinate, who want that perfectionism. For them, presence is what matters. While there are some people who just don't care about it. They are like, let it be. For them, perfectionism is what should matter. The third part is accept messy first drafts. There are going to be messy first drafts. This video that you're watching right now, I probably took 20 to 30 turns before this. I probably shot 20 to 30 times before this. After that, this is happening. I don't mean there are going to be 20 messy drafts. At least there is going to be one messy draft. So accept it. No one can be perfect in the very first try. And the fourth part is detach yourself from the results. It is also said in Bhagavad Gita, detach yourself from the results. Instead of focusing on the performance, focus on the presence. You are not the outcome or the performance, but the presence. We often put a lot of work into something, and when the result comes out, it's not even half to the effort what we have put in. It's not even half compared to the effort what we have put in, and then we are devastated thinking that how dumb were we to even try. I know it because it has happened to me a lot of times. It still happens to me, and it will happen. And sometimes this is also what creates procrastination. Not just the fear of the perfectionism, but also the fear of not getting the same amount of results compared to the effort we have put in. Sometimes thinking that the result is not going to be equal to our performance is also what causes procrastination. And it is really valid to feel that way. I have been making videos and now I am putting a particular amount of effort into it. And maybe I'm not getting the same amount of likes, or I'm not getting the same amount of views or the comments or anything at all. Suppose I'm not getting the same result compared to the effort I'm putting in. And now I'm feeling devastated. I was feeling devastated. That is when I came across a beautiful story that goes something like, there was once a man who brought 2 buckets of water every day to a sage who meditated on top of a hill. Now, the way to the top of the hill was very crooked, filled with small pebbles, big stones and everything. It was very crooked, difficult, barren. So you needed to be very careful to go there. And now, this guy would every day, without fail, bring 2 buckets of water to the sage. But by the time he would reach there, the buckets of both the buckets water were half. Both the waters were almost half the level, whereas he used to bring it totally full. And he used to realize that the water fell down while he was bringing it upstairs, and he was very frustrated, very annoyed, thinking about what is the point of doing all this if more than half of the water is going to waste. But yet he never stopped. He kept on bringing that water to the sage every single day for many years, until finally one day the sage noticed him that he's looking very dull. So the sage asked him, "What is it? Why are you looking so dull?" That is when the guy told the sage that, "I bring you water every day in 2 full buckets, but it always gets lesser than half by the time I reach you. So much of my effort is going to waste. I think I should just stop doing it." That is when the sage smiled and told him, "Tomorrow when you bring me water, why don't you try stopping in the way that you bring me water and look around for a bit?" So the guy went, and when he was bringing water the next day to the sage again, he reached the same steep path with pebbles and everything. He was very careful, and suddenly he remembered the words of the sage. He kept the buckets down and he decided to look around. And that is when he noticed that he was surrounded by beautiful flowers, bushes. It was looking so pretty. And that is when he realized that all his water was not going to waste all along. All this water created this beautiful garden. And that is when he realized that most of the time in life, we are thinking our efforts are going to waste because we are looking at only the result through one particular lens. but we never stop and look around. We are so focused on the goal that we don't even try to look around. Only if we look around, we realize that it never went to waste. No effort ever goes to waste. It's just the goal that made it blur. The desire to extract the exact results compared to the effort you have put in. That desire is what makes us blind enough to not even look around and see the beautiful results that we get from the effort that we thought were lost. So I was very puzzled for months, thinking that what is the point of all of this if more than half of my efforts are going to waste? There is no reach. I want people to know a different perspective. I want them to see the world, see themselves for what they are. But if this video is reaching to no one, or if no one is watching it, it's becoming useless. I was thinking all of this until I read this story. I forgot I told myself that having a good amount of impact in one's life, helping one break free from the sufferings of themselves, is a lot more better than having almost negligible impact in life of many. So this story is a really beautiful story that is going to stay with me forever. And I shared it with you because I really want the story to help all of you as well. So I hope this video was somewhat helpful for all of you. Bye-bye, all the best. Hope to meet you very soon. Do watch the shorter versions of these videos in my Instagram account. Bye-bye, all the best.